Abby Martin is a journalist, writer, filmmaker, most famous for The Empire Files. Now, she's come out with a new documentary about the suffering of Palestinians at the hands of Israelis. Now, she tried to go to Georgia Southern University and play it, or at least speak about it. But she was blocked because she would not sign a pledge of allegiance or swearing an oath to Israel. Now, she is suing the state, claiming that the decision violates the First Amendment. It's very odd that Americans would tolerate having to sign a pledge to a foreign country in order to be able to speak. That's really, really strange. Now, along with the Council on American Islamic Relations and the Partnership for Civil Justice Fund, she filed a lawsuit for freedom of speech against the University System of Georgia. This censorship of my talk, based on forced compliance to anti-BDS laws in Georgia, is just one level of a nationwide campaign to protect Israel from grassroots pressure. We must stand firmly opposed to these efforts and not cower in fear to these blatant violations of free speech. This was signed into law in 2016 under then Georgia Governor Nathan Deal, a law requiring any person or organization wishing to contract with the state with of an amount at least $1,000 to swear an oath promising that they would not oppose the Israeli government in any fashion. Think about that. You cannot oppose you cannot oppose a foreign government in any way, shape, or form. That's an oath you have to sign in the United States. Now, 28 states have already mandated loyalty pledges to Israel as a means to outlaw any dissent against the ongoing genocide being carried out by said country, Israel. But in December, U.S. President Donald Trump effectively criminalizing the BDS movement, boycott, divestment, sanction movement, and put pressure that aims to put legal pressure on the Israeli state through economic action, along with many other methods to fight their apartheid government or their apartheid society there. In other words, just boycott, don't invest in them, and place sanctions on the country for human rights abuse. I mean, we place sanctions on countries who simply oppose U.S. power. Why not against those who commit actual crimes against humanity, like Israel does? Now, this is what this lawsuit is about. Essentially trying to fight a law that criminalizes dissent against the state of Israel. CARE's Legal Defense Fund senior litigation attorney Yadir Abbas said, "There is no place where free speech is more important than on campus, and this attempt to suppress Abby's views, denying students, academics, and others from hearing her lecture, is as brazen as it is illegal. In adopting this anti-BDS law, Georgia has prohibited the policy preferences of a foreign country over the free speech rights of Americans like Abby, who speak on this state's college campuses." Now, it should be noted that there is a basis for this lawsuit, precedent, that's the word I was looking for. In 1956, Martin Luther King movement was criminalized for carrying out boycotts at southern states, passed legislation to penalize their behavior, only for it to be struck down by the Supreme Court as being in violation of free speech. In 2018, Bahia Mamawi, a Houston-based children's speech pathologist, worked with autistic, speech-impaired, and other developmentally disabled children, lost her job after she refused to sign a similar document, swearing an oath of loyalty to Israel. She's a doctor. Why does she need to swear an oath to a foreign country? And she had been fired from her job, where she had been working there for 9 years without a problem. That's how petty these people are. They will get rid of a trained medical professional that is helping disabled children because they won't swear to never criticize the holy, untouchable Israel. Think about that. This is the kind of nonsense that fuels anti-Semitic conspiracies. When people start getting in their head that there's this idea that Israel controls the United States, this is the kind of complete and utter BS that causes that. This is the nonsense. Now, we know why this really happens. This is Christian fundamentalism. This is religion gone awry, as Israel is the Holy Land and untouchable, etc. But it's gone to this such a ridiculous proportion that you're going to inspire things like anti-Semitic conspiracies because of how completely nonsense this whole thing is. But I want people to think about that. Take all these radical, fight the system, the government's coming to get us at any time kind of right-wing militia. Some of them bring back the Confederacy, kind of 1776 will rise again, FEMA camps, Rex 88, Rex 84 kind of guys. Where are they? Why aren't they saying anything? I mean, they stand for America, the illusion of what America is supposed to be. This is America, the freest country in the world, the revolution, blah, blah, blah. And they're not saying anything about this. You're literally being forced to sign a pledge to a foreign country to never criticize it. And they talk about, that the government is basically assaulting me because I have to pay a tax for something. But here they are being almost forced to swear an oath to a foreign country, and they've got nothing to say. So what happened to this? Where's those great American patriots that are waving their guns in public and saying that, this is the moment when the government comes down and tries to take our guns and all that, and this is America represents freedom? Where are they? They're not saying anything. Why not? They're blatantly here being, you know what I'm trying to say. Getting a bit flustered, but you know what I'm trying to say. And as for the whole, here's another one. Why isn't the free market saying something? Why aren't the free marketeers saying, hey, this isn't right. We should be able to, shop or buy wherever it is that we want because that's what the free market determines. Anti-BDS laws are inherently anti-free market because you're being told where you can and can't go. You can't vote with your dollars or some other market fundamentalist nonsense like that. They're deliberately hindering it. Where are the free marketeers to say something? They are also being very, very quiet. Because probably a lot of the elite ones, the ones who are already millionaires off of the U.S. government, and billionaires anyway, off of a controlled economy to a degree, are profiting by shutting down BDS. But even like the street level anarcho-capitalist people, they're not saying anything. Where's their outrage? Their wholly untouchable free market is being infringed upon. The NAP is being violated. And still they got nothing to say. It's amazing how despite all these people, these groups, they're adamant, screaming about freedom and choice and everything that the illusion of America is supposed to stand for. They've got nothing to say. In fact, a lot of them are just lining right up behind it and supporting it. Imagine that. These ultra-patriotic Americans who believe the government's out to get them don't have anything to say about being told to swear an oath of loyalty to a government, to never criticize it. This is what they think the American government is doing right now. But when they do it, like for another country that they've got nothing to say. The whole thing is completely crazy. Obviously, this goes against the principle of nonviolent resistance against Israel, which that's a separate question altogether. But the point is, this is the largest grassroots movement against the crimes that Israel commits, and it should definitely be protected. I think that's very important. But it's amazing that the biggest champions and screamers of freedom and democracy for America, are nowhere to be found. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.